It almost feels like an eternity that we've been actually live, and welcome, welcome, welcome. So a big Happy New Year. If you did miss our little Happy New Year show, it was pre-recorded just in a voice message as well. So yes, but welcome everybody. It is fantastic, fantastic to be here. So it is the 5th of January. January is equivalent to November in the new calendar. So that's why I said the 5th of November. So just putting it out there. Of course, in the Julian calendar, it is December the 23rd. Yes, the White House does work in the Julian calendar. What's very, very interesting, of course, is we're starting to see, as I said in Wacky Wednesday, the US Capitol Police exercise would happen some time ago, but the DOD is assisting in the fencing for the inauguration and starting and commencing today, as we saw. I already saw the pictures coming up about that. This fencing will stay up from the 6th of January right through to the 21st of January. So, yeah, keep an eye out on what is about to transpire, ladies and gentlemen. In COG, once military turns back to the civilian, a new vote within 60 days. From the 5th of November to 60 days is, of course, January the 5th for the COGs. So, yeah, let's just wait and see. There is so much craziness going on. It's really, really hard to keep up with a lot of it. Well, of course, January the 6th, it was an event that occurred for us to go back and reflect on. There's so many different ways we can look at this, but let's have a look back on an article that was dated on the December the 22nd of last year, where Biden was considering a preemptive pardon for J6 committees from potentially political retributions. Well, Biden's civilian medals to Cheney and Thompson as well for their dedication to the January 6th investigation. And of course, today he dug the illustrious Medals of Freedom, but we will go through that at the end of the show. Remember, DJT was holding a red folder also on January the 6th in 2021. A few red folders have popped up just recently in the news. Back to the future. Well, let's also talk about the FBI. They released some very unseen Washington, D.C. Now, sometimes we forget these little things, but I remember them being like floods, this big drain pipe blew in Washington, D.C. They've now released some new footage on that, the bombers' footage, the day before January 6th Capitol riots in 2021. So it's interesting how all of a sudden, but Kash Patel's in the new director of the FBI. So this is a little bit of an interesting twist. Is this going to cause a few more little dramas, or is it going to be the flood of all floods in Washington, D.C.? We can only wait and see. January 6th, I'm going to call this Mayhem Monday because they're talking about certifying votes. Of course, the Catholic Pope closes the doors to the Jubilee. The Brunson case is still kicking in. Is this the new king? The King and King Charles, of course, the KC, and the Prince William are not coming to Carter's funeral as well. That's probably because they don't exist, but these are meaningful little information comms, so to speak. It's totally irrelevant. Who really cares if they do come or they don't come? But very interesting how they've decided not to come to Carter's funeral. It could be actually KC's funeral. That would be fun. I shouldn't say fun. No one wishes anyone to die, but there is a lot of speculation around his health, so to speak. With the possibility of the stock market starting the illustrious crash that we have been waiting for, this will most possibly start on Monday. What we're looking for, of course, is the financial collapse like no other is expected to unfold in this coming week. So does that set off a whole heap of cyber attacks, EBS possibly? You can expect Monday going into Tuesday that there's a I'd be watching that for the next 24 hours on all of those possibilities, so to speak, definitely. DJT says that he will look at the pardoning the January 6 defendants on his first day back in office. So they are certainly, yeah, he's causing a lot of chaos for them, isn't he? And it's so exciting. Well, let's look forward to what's going to possibly happen on January the 7th. Now, this, of course, is when I mentioned on Sizzling Sunday, Wacky Wednesday, Sizzling Sunday today. On Wacky Wednesday, the Canadians are meeting to discuss the non-confidence vote of Trudeau, putting on his backside. That's what I say. Well, then he becomes inaugurated as governor of 51st state. We know that DJT's been trolling that idea. But is this about the dissolving of the whole government in Canada for this to occur? So you dissolve the government and then they become the 51st state of America. So looking forward to what happens on January the 7th, the non-confidence vote. I'm not very confident in him, but we'll see. Of course, it's Orthodox Christmas and December the 25th in the Julian calendar, January the 7th. Wow. We were always promised, weren't we? But again, let's just sit back and relax. Of course, that brings to my attention, though, on January the 7th, I always think of Orthodox Christmas, soccer ball, Russia and Putin. Watch the water, the submarines. There's a lot of activity around many countries obtaining new submarines, and that's sort of been building up, so just putting that out there as well. Could this also be the Bay of Pigs? Is the market crash possibility also incorporating the 3 days of the Bay of Pigs? A war within inside a war, so to speak. The 6th, 7th and 8th, very interesting time. Not only is it Orthodox Christmas and Christmas Day on the Julian calendar, submarines, the hunt for Red October is definitely a possibility with the amount of submarines that are going to be inundated in the waters and being transferred. Do they all drag their anchor and hook up all the internet, call it a cyber attack, and boom, we will wait and see. Because all eyes will be, of course, as I said, around the 6th of January and leading into the 7th. So expect the unexpected, ladies and gentlemen. Well, on January the 8th, we are missing submarine stage is set, as I said, the hunt for Red October. Sessions, Jeff Sessions. Sessions have many meanings. What is also the sessions is, of course, they are all gathering because they lay in state the body of Jimmy Carter, who's apparently died 3 or 4 times, but who knows? We know he's gone to Gitmo. Some of us believe he's gone to Gitmo, but the point being is that what are the sessions? What are they meeting? They're meeting to view, of course, Carter's body in state on the 8th. There was a crinkled flag. Yes, it was crinkled. We all understand by now what does that mean. So we can expect some form of fireworks in the next coming days. January the 9th, wow, this was very interesting and very strange at the same time. We saw that the Italian Prime Minister, Meloni, is going to meet with Trump in Mar-a-Lago, yet on Biden's schedule, his final president trip is to Rome to visit the Italian Prime Minister to meet Meloni. So who's who? What's what? That, ladies and gentlemen, is very strange. Biden's going over there, she's coming over here. Same day. Is this 0 day, perhaps? Interesting, but very strange. The next Ramstein meeting is going to be held in Germany. There's been a lot of talk about Nazis and things like that with Credit Suisse and UBS and things like that as well. But very interesting that the US Secretary Austin, Lloyd Austin, and Ukraine's defence contact are having a meeting in Germany on January the 9th. Again. We will see what crashes and burns with that little saga. Well, that will then bring us up to Wacky Wednesday. What is even very interesting, let's talk very quickly, just a different perspective on these medals of freedom. Let's forget about HRC. Let's forget about a few of the others. I want to focus on George Soros. When you think of George Soros, of course, you think of New World Order. Is this a representation? If we now know and believe that George Soros is gone, he's finished, he's dead, and his son or grandson is irrelevant, the point being is that the Medal of Freedom from the POTUS, ask yourself, who's the POTUS? Just putting that out there. The Medals of Freedom. Think about it in a different perspective, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this in reverse. The POTUS has just given a Medal of Freedom for the New World Order. Just putting that out there. We just done a flippo on that little saga. But what's also interesting, some of the hottest news, I think it was one of my last posts for the early morning evening, was of course the 1940s denominations in Iraq are going to be released. This is bigger than Ben-Hur, ladies and gentlemen. This takes us back to the Future, the 1955 equivalent in the US. It is all about going back to the future, ladies and gentlemen. Future is back. Let's bring back good times, happy times. Stay happy, 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 ladies and gentlemen. We look forward to catching you all up on the flip side. It is a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a good night from me. We'll see you all on the flip side. Bye for now.